Alright, so up next for Amphibia, we have Swamp and Sensibility and Wax Museum. Now, I don't know about Swamp and Sensibility, but I know Wax Museum is like the Gravity Falls episode where Alex Hirsch comes back to voice the curator and Frog Seuss. So I'm excited for that one. It's been a while since I've seen Gravity Falls. I should actually probably like rewatch that series because I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm excited to get some Gravity Falls references in this, especially since Matt Brawley worked on the show. So looking forward to that, but let's get into it.
I know you want me to be a ballerina, but my heart belongs to hip-hop. Are you disappointed?
Oh, I thought they were gonna get separated. That would have been really bad.
We can't control Betsy.
And where are you? Oh wait, the hatch is right there. Never mind. I was like, and where'd the rest of your body go?
You're right.
Sheep. Ooh, fancy.
Wait, what?
Oh,
William, you know these pungent
William?
comment.
Yes, that's right, Father.
Yeah, go along with it for now.
My mechanics will make a writer's rain in no time.
Oh, wow. They're strong.
Oh, yes, we could!
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Ever seen a frog torn in half? by a
that's
peacock?
not
Grisly stuff.
dangerous at all to just have giant birds hanging around that could kill you.
Place is magnificent.
See, I always think it looks too gaudy.
Support you, just
No,
like
they
my
won't.
favorite movie, From Point to Poppin'.
No.
Risky, Anne.
They are gonna be so upset initially, and then they'll understand. People live in this mansion, like the entire family? Oh. Yeah, okay. Sure. Don't worry about that.
Rich people are messed up.
Yeah, they are.
Meddling.
This isn't
It's the right
really
thing
your
to do because
place,
it happened in
Anne.
a movie, and movies are never wrong.
Your logic is so flawed. Oh, this probably... Oh, gosh. Oh, Donald Duck?
Unacceptable. You have brought shame
Yeah.
to the House of Ripperton.
Oh, boy. Ribbon dancing? What? It's like Olympic ribbon dancing?
You've done enough already.
Yeah.
Official
Oh.
Ripperton Family Challenge! A riveting
This
game
Kermit.
of beast polo!
I'll be your beast.
Oh, jeez, Anne. Hello? Oh, my.
Sorry, I'm just so competitive.
Ooh, nice.
Playing the jug, but I gave it up a long, long time ago.
Jug.
You've been holding
Oh,
out on
you just
me.
keep them out there.
Isn't this great?
Yeah, I was about to say, those peacocks probably are gonna attack somebody at some point. Alright. Here we go. The Gravity Falls.
This place
Shop,
is so
shop,
cool.
shop. Yeah,
What should we
shop.
do first? Oddities Museum? What the heck is an oddity in Amphibia? Am I right?
Yeah.
Stick to physical comedy. Got it.
Oh, jeez, Anne. Curiosity Hut.
I
Rooms.
place is
Why? Like, you guys have dealt with way scarier things than this. I mean, I'm sure things will go absolutely terribly, but I bet they're gonna be real.
cool.
Hands off the merchandise!
I wonder what it was like for Alex to, like, kind of step back into the voice again, but, like, a different character, like a little, you know, parody of a character.
Airbug! There's nothing in the
Airbug.
rule book that says a man.
Is that an old skip
Oh
man?
my God.
My parents had one of these.
Instead of a Walkman, a Skip Man?
You been licking yourself again, Frog Seuss? Caught me again, Mr. Pons.
Jeez.
Tell you what.
Oh, there you are.
Did a torch that lit itself?
That's the stuff. Now,
happened?
since you're my main attraction,
What does that say back there? I'll have to read that. What was ever on the picture frame? Oh, we're gonna go like melt everything. Oh man,
charge
that would be
people when
like
they break.
really, really hot. That would be
Win-win.
burning.
Newtopia's got a ton of them. That's where I got that skip guy you wanted.
Why are there human things in Newtopia?
This is worse.
Looks like
Are
the
they
end of the
like
line for you
revolt
two.
against
What
him?
the?
Yeah, I don't know why you have so much fire in a wax museum.
Scrappy lock.
Schmebulok.
Calm down, everyone. It's just wax.
Yeah.
And you mean Biscuit Man?
Oh, good job.
Except for that curator. He's dead.
He's dead.
Has a laser? Well, bam!
Oh, jeez. That's good. I like that episode a lot. It's fun when we do get like little crossover kind of episodes, or I mean, obviously we get like Easter eggs and nods to other Disney shows and Disney properties, but having a full on like kind of homage to Gravity Falls was fun. I like that a lot. It was nice to hear Alex Hirsch do his Grungle stand in Seuss again. We are at our last 2 stops before we finally reach Newtopia. One in which where we get to know Wally a little bit better, and the other in homage to Gravity Falls, a show that Amphibia creator Matt Brawley previously worked on. We'll first start with Swamp and Sensibility. I really like it when secondary characters get episodes focused on them and their development, so I'm glad that Wally gets that treatment here. We start with the Planters making an unexpected stop in Ribbitvale, the fanciest town in all of Amphibia. And I absolutely love the design of this town. You could totally tell that the crew really went wild and included whatever fancy architecture and decor they could think of here. This is also the first town that really feels like a larger town, at least until we get to Newtopia, that is. The Planters are looking to get some repairs done and be on their way, Hop Hop especially even encouraging the kids to look away from the fancy, which makes sense. Hop Hop is a humble, down-to-earth farmer. He wouldn't want his family turning into one of the uptight denizens of Ribbitvale, but this is how they stumble upon Wally, or rather Walliam, and his father, Wigbert. It's here that we discover that Wally has been lying to his father that he has been doing business in Wortwood and that the Planters are his servants. This leads Wigbert to kindly offering repairs to the Planters and a place to stay until the repairs are complete. And this is honestly very kind of him. I know later in this episode we see that he is a bit stuck up and is unaccepting of Wally, but I do think this gesture shows that Wigbert isn't all bad. We then see a pretty quick turnaround in Hop Hop's demeanor when it comes to fancy once he and his family are offered a place to stay, though to be fair, I agree that it's a lot easier to give into the fancy lifestyle when you don't have to pay anything for it. The Planters go off and explore the mansion while Anne stays back to talk to Wally, and we discover that Wally doesn't enjoy his life of luxury in Ribbitvale, and he feels confined and has to abide by all of its rules. He much prefers a life of freedom in Wortwood. And like I said before, I like it when we get to learn more about secondary characters and their motivations. It just adds to the overall world building in Amphibia and makes it feel more fleshed out. Now Anne has good intentions in wanting to help Wally, but ignores his warnings when told that his family won't be accepting. And I like that we are bringing up conversations from previous episodes and recalling the lesson Wally taught her in not caring about what others think. This is nice because 1, it makes the episodes feel connected and not just one-offs that don't fit into the series overall, and 2, I like that lessons and messages don't apply to every situation. As we see later in the episode, Wigbert is not accepting of Wally's life in Wortwood. I think it's just good to show that there are exceptions to lessons and messages in any show. Anne ignores Wally's warning and ends up editing a video together of Wally in Wortwood. Prior to showing the video to all of Wally's family, Sprig even questions Anne momentarily if she's helping or meddling. And I think this is a great thing to bring up because the line between the two can be somewhat blurred. Anne obviously wants to help because Anne is a kind-hearted person and wants to be there for her friends. But there are times where it's best to stay out of others' personal matters, and this was one of those times. After showing the video, Wigbert is upset that Wally has been lying and living his life as a vagrant in Wortwood and orders him to stay within the mansion. This causes Wally, who is a skilled ribbon dancer apparently, to challenge his father. If he wins, he gets to live out his life in Wortwood. The two Ribbitons play a game of beast polo, and Anne is able to make it up to Wally by acting as his steed for the polo match. Also, Kermit the Frog makes a guest appearance here as the announcer, so that's pretty cool. Wally ends up winning the match with the use of his accordion, which has apparently been in Anne's hair for a long time, and his father ends up coming around to Wally, living his life as a vagrant. It's nice to see Wigbert come around to his son living the life he wants, and I would honestly like to see him again. Perhaps in Wortwood with Wally giving him a tour of the area. I think it would be a nice and fun way to bring him back for at least another episode. Overall, I think this was a nice episode to develop Wally further and introduce us to his father, and I hope that we could see the two of them again in the future to see how the relationship between the two has developed. But this brings us to the Gravity Falls homage episode, Wax Museum. It's been a while since I have done a full watch through of Gravity Falls, so this episode definitely makes me want to revisit the series again. We see the planters making their way through Stony Gulch, where Anne has become popular as a street performer, earning a bucket of money. Looking to get a souvenir, Anne and the planters go to the Curiosity Hut, a parody of the Mystery Shack. Inside, they find a wax museum of various creatures and also meet the curator, voiced by Alex Hirsch, who guest stars for this episode. Anne discovers a Skipman, a parody of a Walkman, and wishes to buy it. Anne does bring up the question of how it got here in Amphibia in the first place, and that is a fantastic question. We later find out in the episode that the curator got it from Newtopia, which brings up the other question of how did the Skipman end up there? Anne and the curator agree for her to be a one-day-only attraction in town for her to get the Skipman. However, the curator clearly has ulterior motives, and we also get a cameo from Frogsus, also voiced by Hirsch, who essentially breaks the fourth wall here, and returns later that night to meet with the curator despite the planter's apprehension. She is eventually tricked by the curator into becoming a wax statue in the museum. Also, in true Gravity Falls fashion, we have secret messages in this episode. The two in this episode saying there is a Frogsus in every dimension and Dipsifica for life. Adding these two messages just shows how much love and care went into making this episode and truly makes it a Gravity Falls homage episode. The planters eventually come to the rescue of Anne, with Polly melting the wax of the other statues, releasing them, one of them even being named Schmebulok. The melting of the wax figures also parallels the episode from Gravity Falls, Headhunters. With the wax figures now waxless, they take the curator to get revenge for turning them into attractions. And I also love the fake blood gag, it's a very Gravity Falls-esque joke. The planters are able to melt the wax off of Anne, and Sprig is even able to snag the Skipman for her. So I'm hoping we get to learn more about who had and or where this Skipman came from in Newtopia now that it's with Anne. Overall, I enjoyed this episode a lot, and it definitely makes me want to go and watch through Gravity Falls again. Hearing Alex Hirsch bring back the Grunkle Stan and Seuss voices for this episode definitely brought back a sense of nostalgia. But outside of this being an homage episode, I feel like it was just a solid episode in general. But this was our last stop before arriving at the gates of Newtopia next episode, where we will finally get to see the reunion of Anne and Marcy. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you have a fantastic day, and until next time guys, take care.